thinking about like value for children, because I feel like we're always, there's a lot of stuff on Facebook about how I can feel better about myself as a parent. Not that parent well-being is not important, because that does affect the child, but we can get so stuck into fixated, I should say, in what our rights are. As a just holding my phone yeah, it's my right to work, and what's best for the child. They should be in daycare because it's good for their social skills. They should, or parents should be at home and spend more time with their kids. Which way? Boys. But in either one of those scenarios, you can still forget the kids. Like, it's funny because we're making a whole film about children. We're on the road with each other all the time, and there are times that we're still like so fixated on doing what we've got to do that we forget to actually have time with the kids. Like, they're always there, but there's no quality time.
Quite a chance to get out for a wander like this, eh?
Yeah.
Away from the computer.
I think either way, like, it's important to actually make sure that we are purposeful in setting aside time and including them in whatever it is that we're doing. But it's been good this week, eh? Because we've, like in the evening, sat down and just reflected on stuff, and it's been quite interesting for us actually taking the time to do that, because we've learnt some stuff about our kids.
Which is probably fair to say we've picked up from the people that we filmed along the way, eh?
Yeah, learnt stuff from other people.
Keep trying to walk to the right bit.
But it just goes back to that, you know, doing stuff with your children, not to them.
There are crabs completely everywhere. They're sniffing me almost every step.
So how can we, like, you know, if we are going to, as a mum with young children, if I need to go to work during the day, how can I include my children in that journey rather than like getting up and being rush, throw them in the car, dump them off at school, pick them up at the end of the day, quickly take them to all their school or their music lessons or sports or whatever it is, and then sort of dinner and then to bed, and you never actually stop and ask them how their day was. And I think like that's one thing that we've...
Humongous crab in there.
Is there?
There's a big, I don't know if it's humongous, but I saw a crab gone. And where? Look at all these little things.
What I've heard a lot about lately is that how, like, from all the teachers and people working with kids talking about that they really notice that kids that are coming through school and sports and all that they're really angry or they have lots of mental health issues. And I think that through all of looking out for ourselves as grown-ups, we've forgotten about the kids.
It's a slime thing.
So they have to fit in. And I think, there's, in a way, it's good for, at the start of this journey, our kids wanted to go back home. But, they did have to fit in with what we were doing. But it's still, I think it's part of, learning is that balance of learning resilience, but also listening to them throughout that time and acknowledging how they're feeling and maybe adapting things along the way. But that's also a part of including them in what we're doing. Like, we need to know the plan for the next day. Why wouldn't kids want to know what their plan is for the next day? That's sort of a way that they can feel safe and secure because they know what's coming up. It's not just like surprise all the time, and I guess we are moving around a lot, and we sort of, Noah's not been a great sleeper, but we never actually thought to ask him why he's not sleeping. And it's funny the immediate difference that is made after we actually, well, you took some time and you said, why do you think you're not sleeping? And he's like, I think it's because I'm just thinking about what's happening the next day and I don't know. And it's so easy to forget. But what's, like, I think, you know, this might seem like a stretch, like this whole thing, we started this whole thing as, you know, figuring out how we can reduce child abuse in New Zealand. And I know there's not an immediate relationship, but what there is a relationship between is, like, we know that added stress to a family has an effect on family violence. We know that perhaps we should wait for our kids talking about including them, and we know that mental health issues has a big effect. And so, you know, if we're looking about how we need to look at the long picture as well, and we need to ensure that our kids growing up now are trying to take over those anxieties and those issues that could lead to other problems in the future. And we get asked that question all the time.
It's like this dingo thing or something. Yeah. Very thin or something, and I tried to pick it up with this. It's like flappy. It's like swooped.
Oh, it's probably a flounder.
It camouflaged to the ground and like moved around like. And I tried to. It was kind of like.
Yeah, it'd be a flounder.
Over. How's that flounder though?
Oh, it's a baby flounder.
It was oval
Oh,
and it flapped.